right.
So, hello. I've been excited for this meeting for a while now.
I am very excited. I am excited for your deep pockets, sir.
Well, I'm excited for your great business idea. Obviously, you've taken the company pretty far already. And I'm happy to start a partnership where we can take your company even further. Obviously, we're both in the aerospace area, so I think it makes a good fit. I just kind of want to learn more about you before we start getting negotiations. Maybe like, what's important to you at the company, and really why you're looking for us, what things in the future you're looking to do with your company, and where that trajectory is supposed to go, and how you see us fitting into it. As we know, this is a partnership. We're gonna be with each other if we work together for the future. It's not a one-time deal, so let's make sure this partnership works out.
No, great. So to give you some background on myself, and I appreciate taking the time to meet with me today. So to give you some background of myself, I got over 20 years experience in management in a fellow aerospace company. And after 20 years, I realized that I have a good idea and I want to break off and create my own company. So I did that and created this company. And so with my knowledge and my management experience, I've been able to grow the company to what it is. Not only have I been able to grow the company, I've also been able to create a working prototype to actually launch a few people up in space right now. So the beauty of it is that you're not investing in something that's just a prototype. We already have a working model. We've actually shot people up in space already. Some people that are rich and want to be a thrill seeker, so we give them that opportunity. So I don't want to say they're guinea pigs, but in a way, we've learned a lot from them. And obviously everyone's come back safe. And so we want to be able to expand our fleet from 1 ship to 6. And the reason why we want to do that is because we feel that if we can expand from our 1 ship to 6, we can then expand our customer base. So the goal would be is to have multiple flights going at the same time, and hopefully cutting down the costs, because we'll be able to utilize a bigger customer base and not having to rely on more of a first in, first out type of customers. So with that said, we're really excited to work with you because of your background in aerospace already, and I feel that you're a good fit with what we're looking for. It sounds like obviously you've had a lot of money, and we wanted to be able to take that money and use it in the best way possible. And the fact that you obviously understand our company, you have the background, you're in good hands. We want to be able to take your investment and hopefully grow it, and not because of my gut feeling. It's because of projections I have based on the space industry and my experience with it, and the fact that we have a working prototype.
Awesome. Yeah, that's definitely why we've come out to you. So we know it's a great idea. So I'm excited to kind of dive deeper and seeing what makes this work. So when you created your company, was it focused on getting money or pushing the human race forward? I want to know what drives you as a CEO.
So obviously there's profit to be made here. It's a very niche market. It's new, but I'm not in it for that. I came from the aerospace company, and I knew that this is something that was my passion and needs to be given to the world. I feel that everyone deserves the knowledge and the ability to explore space. And if I can give them that ability, I want to be able to do that. So to answer your question directly, my passion is to get more people into space that aren't just millionaires. I want the everyday person, similar to the saying with the president that everyone has a car in the garage and everyone has a chicken in their pot. One day I foresee that even a regular old guy will be able to take his family up to space. Similar to, we're going to go to Thailand, or we're going to go to the Hawaii this year. That's going to be a big family trip, and I foresee, and I want to be part of that.
Awesome. Great. We love that idea, and you guys are definitely hitting a blue ocean kind of approach. So we're definitely happy to invest. So do you have any thoughts as to how you want to start this negotiation, or do you just want to start kind of going one by one and looking through? Obviously, you know me as a VC. I am dealing with other people's money, so obviously it's going to be in the best interest to always lower risk, as well as try to give you enough capital to grow your business quickly. So we know going into this that there's going to be a little bit back and forth, but I want to make sure that whatever deal we come to is obviously going to be one that benefits us both. So I guess however you want to start is okay by me. I know we have the opportunity to invest up to $100 million at this time. That's been okay. Now, there's obviously ways that are going to help us mitigate that risk for my clientele. The main ways I'm seeing are probably the VC percentage that would take over.
Okay.
Currently, you guys are valued at 23. What do you think is an appropriate amount of percentage for that kind of investment?
Well, I know that based on some of the information I have, I mean, I know your value is about 23 million right now. I foresee us being able to return your money almost fivefold in the upcoming years.
Great.
So the nice thing is that you're not going to lose your money. The biggest thing, though, I can see where you're coming from, is that you want to understand how much you want to put into for equity. So as of right now, I'd like to start off with looking at 30% or less.
Oof. I know it's not going to go well with our investors, but I know there's definitely some leeway. With that kind of money invested with the current price of the company, they're going to be looking to exceed 50%, and that's even at a low area.
Right.
Typically, they're going to be looking for a 70% investment. Now, obviously, we don't want to take away your full rights of your company. It's your company, you started. So I'm sure there's other ways that we can.
Well, if this was your company, how would you feel that? What do you feel would be a fair percentage? If this was your company,
Yep.
And the tables were turned, what do you feel would be the fair percentage?
Well, I think there's always a leeway when it takes money, and it's whether or not you're willing to take the capital right away for some of the money stake, or if it's more that you want to take the power, the board stake.
Right.
Either way, it's going to be one of those ways where somebody's got to compromise in order to take this much capital, just because the fact that this is not what I'm dealing with, and if we were always investing in risky procedures, we would definitely not be the venture capitalists we are today.
Right.
So.
Agreed. You mentioned somewhere in the range of 50%. So if we were to work with you, and we can discuss this on other pieces, if we were to work with you, knowing that you mentioned 50%, I assume that's kind of what you were looking at going in at. If we were to work on coming somewhere into that zone around 42%?
I meant 50 at a lower base rate, but if we went down to that lower area, actually 42 is a little bit too low. If we did start off even lower, and I'm saying like just barely get low 50s, dividends would have to come up, because right now that's too risky of a payoff for us.
So basically, it sounds like if you have less percentage of my company, you want to be able to have more dividends at the company. So
more dividends and ownership, which would be obviously I think is what you
so
told
what
me.
percentage were you thinking about dividends?
I'd probably go 8 to 9%.
Yeah, I think maybe what we can do is maybe we table those two items, because it sounds like those two are your two hot items. I'm guessing you're the number one and number two on your items list.
Overall ownership is definitely going to be one of the things. I mean, we are investing in order to make money right away.
Right.
Quickest way we can do that is obviously to have higher ownership and shares.
Right.
So.
Well, let's do this. I know that's very important to you. I appreciate that. I know your time is precious, so I hate to dwell on it.
Of course.
Maybe we can just go back to it. Maybe we start the discussion on, like you said, I have a lot of experience in management. I started this company, and I feel like I can grow this company. What I'd like to understand is, what is your views or standpoints currently on your CEO replacement provision?
Right now, I've looked at your report so far of what your company is, seen the aggressive, moderate, and conservative views. As long as you make numbers, we're okay with it. Now, we'd obviously like to get our money back quick into the investment, so we prefer them not to be the conservative. If we can meet in between, I'm not even going to ask for the aggressive. Aggressive is a win-win for both of us. If the company grows that quick, that's a win for you, win for me.
Well, the aggressive thing would be the one thing I have concern about aggressive projections is that if I don't hit them, it gives you the right to be able to displace me as the CEO and put a new CEO in there. So I feel that it sounds like we're coming to an agreement on somewhere in between no provision and conservative projections, would you be in agreement of conservative projections? If I can give you conservative projections that I know that I can attain,
Yeah.
then this way that you still have the CEO replacement provision, but it would be based on conservative projections.
Could we move that possibly up to moderate? Would you be okay with that?
And the reason why I can't say that and hear me out is because this is a new market and it's really difficult to
Project or forecast
Project.
anything. I agree.
So, like I said, I'm the best person to be able to run this company, and I hate to put you in a situation where you bring in a new CEO that doesn't have as much experience as I do. So I'd like to offer the conservative projection, and then maybe we discuss on how we can go back on the VC, on your equity percentage and your dividends. If you can give me at least no provision of conservative projections,
Yep.
then we can discuss how we want to handle some of the equity percentage.
Okay. You know what?
So if we can do no provision on the CEO replacement provision, I'm willing to do the low 50s for BC equity.
Okay, I can come into a deal on this. The no provision I can't do. I will give you conservative. But in doing so, I'm going to have to ask that you stay with the company, and therefore, being a CEO role, you'd be able to leave with your shares. And I'd like to vest your shares for by 12 years. Not 12 years, sorry, 5 years.
I'm just trying to figure out, make sure that. I mean, I don't plan on ever leaving this company, but I do want to be able to let you know that I'm not going to sell out. Would you allow for 3 or less years? I mean, just 3 years flat, not even less years, just 3 years minimum.
No, I couldn't do that actually. We need you there, like you said, you're the head of the company. I could do conservative projections for 4 years being vested, now for 5 years being projected, or moderate projections for 4. Don't want to bend on that area. And I hope you understand that I'm just trying to mitigate as much risk because we all know you're the face of the company and it's your research, your product. So if we're going to keep you as CEO, we definitely want to make sure that you're not going to be leaving or damaging the company.
Oh no, I 100% agree. How about this? If I can do conservative, if it sounds like you're okay with the 4 to 5 years on the vesting.
Yep. Conservative 5 years vested?
Correct.
Okay.
So the other thing too that I do want to discuss are some of the, you mentioned dividends, we can go back on that, but I want to talk kind of what your thoughts are on the no shop provision.
No shop provision?
Yeah, so I really, like I said, I really have a very strong hold on my company in the sense from, I understand what needs to be manufactured, I understand the supply chain. This is going to be a big deal for me. I'd like to have it so there's no provision included on the shop. And the reason I say that is because I don't want to be wasting your time, having your guys go out there and having him watching or monitoring things that we already have on handle. I'd rather you utilize those resources for something that's better use of his time, to be honest.
I agree, and I don't want to delay your company being grown. So I'd say, like, if you don't mind, we can tabletop that for now. And then if there's questionable, like you're not very, very sure this is a great deal for both of us, then I'll remove the provision. But I'd like to see it as that we're a great partnership and that the deal we come to is going to be something that we can execute right away and that's not going to slow down your business.
So can you help me understand on why you feel that you need to have a presence in the provision portion of it?
We just want to make sure that you're not shopping around and using our bargain to get another deal.
Okay.
We want to create this partnership quick and possible, and we want to make sure that you're not just using us as a way to leapfrog.
Right.
So we're going to put a lot of work, no matter what, into this agreement, and we just want to make sure that goes into a betterment of this company rather than just be used on the other side.
So I know that I brought you to, we started this meeting, and I don't plan on that.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that just concerns me is that having it in writing. I mean, I don't plan on having another VC coming in and go shopping around, if you will. But like I said, if you want to table that, we can go back to it.
Yeah, I would love to table it, and then, you know, I'm happy to say that we can push that away, as long as I'm happy that we give you the best deal,
Right.
and you're happy with the deal.
Okay.
Because in that sense, I'm not worried that you're going to shop around.
Right.
If you're a little bit unworried about the deal, I'd rather you not use it. It's just a way to leapfrog us.
Agreed.
Okay.
Understood. Okay. Well, let's do this. If we're gonna table that, then I think maybe we should go back to what we had originally talked about. So I know we had gone back and forth on the VC equity and the dividends. If we were to go, it sounds like dividends are really important. You mentioned 8% or more. I'm not gonna be able to do that. I just cannot. Unfortunately, it's not gonna work for me. And what I'd like to do, though, I still want to give you dividends because I want to be able to give you the profits that the company is making.
Yeah.
If the company
Thank
is
you.
growing, I want to be able to give you some of that. So with that said, would you be willing to do 1 to 2% on dividends?
That would have to come down to what the percentage equity. The companies are going to be looking for the low 50s on this one, like 52, 53. At that point, then we'd be okay with the low dividends. Obviously, if we're going to go lower than that, then that's going to be something a completely different aspect.
So what if I gave you more dividends? So for example, I gave you 5 to 7. Would you be able to go in the between 47 and 49 in equity?
I could go right at 50 for about 5% in dividends.
49%. I got kids to feed.
I do too. Let's see here. Okay.
So what's your thoughts on the stock? Because right now, I've been giving all my people common stock.
Mm-hmm.
So are you accepting the common stock?
Not this time. Just because we'll be investing most capital, we'd like to be the first one that's paid out in that sense. The best would be redeemable, but I understand your.
So if I give you redeemable, would you be able to go down to the 49%?
If we do 5% dividends on 49% and redeemable, yeah.
So what's your issues on convertible on the stock?
So we don't really have an enormous amount of issue with that. It's preferred over the common. Obviously, we can get payback to the bar.
Right.
The only great thing about the redeemable preferred is that we can convert it easier. That we can make that money if we decide to choose so.
Mm-hmm.
So that one's definitely preferred, and it lowers our risk a lot
Right.
in this. So that's what my investors are going to be looking for. So that'd be the biggest one. If we're willing to go in those kind of stocks, I'd be willing to do. We'll even make it 47% with a 4% dividend.
I can do that.
Okay.
So 47%, so the VC equity?
Yep.
47%?
And then a 5% dividend and redeemable preferred.
I think it's 4%.
Oh, sorry, 4%? Yep, sorry. That works for me.
Okay.
It's been a long day already. It is literally my birthday outside of this.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday.
So that's why I'm trying to give you a great deal
I know.
and give myself a birthday
I
present here.
should give you a good deal. I'm trying to. So we agreed to redeemable?
Yep.
Okay, so it sounds like we have a couple things here still on the table. So as you know, I do appreciate having your expertise as a venture capitalist. That's why I've been looking at you guys.
Yep.
I would like to have some of your board members on my board. So I'm willing to work with having one representative from your company to accompany the board, and I'm hoping that with your expertise, you can then have brand representation of your firm right at the table.
Okay. Yeah, right now we know you have 3.
Mm-hmm.
If we could go to 2, we know you have majority stake. Whether or not that's someone of our organization or just appointed by us, that might be someone else in the organization, or like someone that would know the industry to help you judge.
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
And then, so also to mitigate risk, we're going to be asking the first right for refusal if you ask for more capital. Obviously, if we deny, we'd supply our own capital, and if we allow it, then you can get more capital and then dilute our stock, just because we don't want to dilute our investment. And if you do that, I'm so happy with this deal that I will not ask for provision for the shop.
Okay. I can give you no anti-dilution rights at all, but provision not included then, right?
So yep, well, the right for first refusal, but we will not do any provision.
So you want VC right for first refusal?
Yep.
Make sure I have these in here, so anti-dilution. Alright, so, and I'm okay with that. I think if you'd like, I'd like to go down the list here.
Yeah, of course.
So make sure, so I've got VC equity percentage to be 47 to 49%.
Yep.
The type of stock to be redeemable preferred.
Yep.
Dividends to be 3 to 4%.
I have it as 4%, but before you said 47% on the VC, we can move that to 46.
We can move that to 46.
Equity? Yep. But then dividends will have to be 4%. Hopefully that 1% doesn't change much on your end.
Okay.
So we go 46% on VC equity, redeemable preferred, 4 dividend.
Yeah. So and dividends, what? 3? Which one?
4% for dividends. But you get 46, so I'm lowering the 1% on your VC percentage.
I'm okay with that. Alright, so then on the anti-dilution rights, you want right of refusal?
Yep. And then 2 board members.
And 2 board members, yeah.
5 years vested by CEO
Yep.
under conservative projections.
Correct, yep.
And there is provision not included.
Perfect.
Okay.
That works for me. So, I think we came to an agreement, sir.
I believe so.
Like it.
Awesome.
Thank you. That's perfect. Yeah, I think I'm really excited. I think it'll be good.
Me as well. And hopefully this worked.
I was afraid that I was going to